What's up, everyone? It's Kadi with MoneyVest. So markets continue to move higher. S&P 500 within striking distance of an all-time high. The Dow Jones also pushing up a little bit over 43 basis points, and the NASDAQ is up also over 0.5% to over 15,074. So almost getting up to 15,100. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, find it helpful, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. And links to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. There is a 16% annual discount that's now only valid for another 4 days, so you can take advantage of it until December 31st. So definitely do check that out. You can access all the members-only private videos, Excel spreadsheets, and of course buy and sell alerts on our Discord that are going to be available as well. 2024, we're going to be planning with a private live stream on everything that we are going to be watching for. All the economic indicators, all the fundamental stocks, all the technical levels, everything I'm going to discuss in a very, very detailed private live stream for all members in the first week of January, so that we are all on the same page getting started with the brand new year for the market. So if you want to sign up, again, link's going to be down below for that. It's going to be available to all the members privately in the first week of Jan. So this right here is the market. Very nice, consistent uptrend during the day. You'll notice that the 2-year note auction was oversubscribed by over 2.68. So that's the bid cover ratio. Very strong numbers, and total amount came in at $57 billion with a yield awarded at just over 4.3% for the 2-year note auction as well. So we've already talked about the $6 trillion sitting on the sidelines. So that will be part of the discussion when we actually do our private live stream for 2024. What happens to the $6 trillion pile of cash? That is a lot of money sitting on the sidelines. There's a lot of cash, as we've already talked about. A lot of people have missed out on this rally. So it's possible that, one of two things happen. Number one, this money gets floated back into the equity market, which obviously creates even more demand and more potential for a very aggressive 2024, with markets moving higher to new all-time highs and just ripping past certain levels that we never thought were possible on the back of rate cuts in 2024. That's number one. Or the second is that it just sits there doing nothing, right? So of course it can move into other places as well. So it can move into cryptos, it can move into fixed income, it can move into real estate, it can move into a lot of different places, but really it is all going to come down to where the opportunity is, right? Where is the actual risk reward the best for money market funds to finally then move out of these accounts over to assets, whether it's equities, bonds, real estate, crypto, whatever it is. But eventually we know there's going to be, this is at an all-time high, by the way. This is at about as high as it gets. $6 trillion is a lot of money sitting on the sidelines. So we're going to try to brainstorm some ideas, make a list of every place where this could go when rates start coming down. Because the reason why it's sitting in the money market funds in the first place is because we are still getting pretty nice 4 or 5% yields on money market funds and online savings accounts. So eventually, if this does start to move out of there, that's happening because rates are no longer favorable, and now there's going to be better reward somewhere else. That's what we had to figure out, and we'll brainstorm some ideas in our private live stream in 2024. So S&P 500 within striking distance of all-time high. We made it, folks. We made it. We're almost at 4,800. RSI near 70 after rising to most overbought territory since 2020. Not only that, it has moved to the most overbought territory in a very, very long time. So in our analysis going past 90 years, we haven't seen the RSI in these levels. We've only seen this RSI at over 70 and 80 levels less than 1% of the time. So it is extremely overbought. There's no doubt about it. But I've mentioned before, the markets can remain overbought for a long time until you can remain solvent, right? So what that means is that we can continue to see these elevated levels. We can continue to see these overbought levels for the market. And then, of course, eventually there's going to be a pullback. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. But we just need to be understanding of the fact that it is overbought. The risk reward is not that great. It's unfavorable. But of course, I'm still holding on to what I have while also selling some calls to hedge my potential downside. So Dow closes 150 points higher on Tuesday. S&P 500 approaches all-time high. You still have money dripping in, even though it's weakened. A solid bid underneath the surface, as we have heard, as we head into the year end. And that's likely to continue. And this S&P 500 ended Tuesday's session with striking distance of record levels. And this was right here, Jan Slizgai, CEO of co-founder of Toggle AI, and he says, and I quote, "I don't love the term, but if you were to describe what is happening, it's definitely Goldilocks for the market. Inflation is coming down, the economy is still chugging along, and the hiking cycle's over. On all of these macro trends, the rally has been justified given how much it has moved higher." So AMD pushing up, Intel, Nvidia, Broadcom, Tesla, Meta, everything's just sliding to like slowly and steadily kind of drift upwards. Google, Microsoft, Apple, and Amazon had a very flat day, so it's about as flat as it can get. And other sectors did participate in the rally, so industrials, consumer defensives, we had real estate, energy, materials, utilities, everything was in a very nice move up, and financials also rallied quite a bit. So this right here is the entire market, and this right here is the one-day performance with energy, real estate, industrials, utilities, technology. All sectors, all 11 sectors were green in the last 1 week though. We have seen everything else also push higher. So every single sector is obviously green, and of course 1 month performance is also very, very strong with every single sector here pushing higher at the moment. So 1 day performance, you'll notice that wheat, oats, corn, natural gas, and live cattle pushing higher, with cocoa, rough rice, canola, sugar, soybean, lumber, and orange juice definitely selling off quite a bit, with lean hogs also pulling back significantly. So 42,150 was Bitcoin, so very, very strong. It has obviously pushed higher quite a bit, but Ether here, 2,200. So obviously just pulling back, mostly going sideways. We have seen some consolidation at the moment for Bitcoin. So after the rally, RSI MACD getting overbought, and now we're just seeing a lot of consolidation sideways for cryptos as well. So moving over to the market, first we're going to start with volatility. So if you come over to the VIX, what you'll notice is that the VIX coming back down in the last 1 day. Of course, it is down to back under 13, down a little bit over 0.5%. But the bottom line is that pretty significant red candle, right? So we did kind of open where we closed on Friday, and then really sold off about a point from 13.8 down to 12.98. And this right here, the red rectangle, is going to be that level to watch for volatility, right? So that is going to be that level to keep in mind. And of course, that resistance, or not really that resistance, but a level where we're going to be very comfortable sort of, once again, dollar cost averaging and deploying cash and buying is going to be 18 to 20 levels. So that right there is going to be that level to keep in mind. Where the VIX is high, it's time to buy. When the VIX is low, it is time to go. So those are some levels to keep in mind. Of course, right now we're seeing a lot of consolidation, and it's very, very muted. We did see a couple days of a spike here from the volatility, but nothing crazy that's happened. Going over to crude oil, and continues to move higher from that area of validation, area of support here. So 75.44 is where we are at the moment. And again, crude oil's got a big support at the moment, sitting roughly at around 81. So $81 a barrel is going to be that level to keep in mind. And of course, support level right now is going to sit at $73, $74 per barrel at the moment. So keep in mind, that's the overall downtrend that we are watching for crude at the moment. This is the overall downtrend channel, but it's now starting to break out a little bit back to the upside. So 81 is going to be that next resistance, support at 73. Talking a little bit about the yields. So the 10-year continues to move lower. It is now under 3.9%. So think about that for a second. 3.9, sub 3.9% is where we're at. Definitely been selling off quite aggressively from highs of well over 5% to now 3.882. And as a result, TLT and TMF, I'm sure, have done really well. TLT is up another 29 basis points, and TMF, once again, pushing higher, up a little bit over 29 basis, actually 77 basis points as well. So 3 times more than TLT, right? So very, very strong move to the upside for TMF as well. Now going over to individual, actually first we're going to talk about the S&P. So very, very strong momentum from the market. And here we go, another 52-week high at 47.84. We're almost approaching 4,800. And of course, that next resistance is going to be at 4,800, and support level is going to be at 47.26. So as we have already discussed, we've got an overbought RSI. MACD also a little bit more on the overbought side. So we have seen a very nice rally. There's no question about that, but risk reward is not favorable. Still dollar cost averaging in the broader based index ETFs like VUG, for example, that's done reasonably well today, up another 36 basis points. SMH, dollar cost averaging and buying, up another 1.3%, so very nice move for the upside. But other than that, individual stock wise, a lot of them have already moved up. That's why you'll start to notice that, I do videos like, best stocks to buy, best growth stocks to buy at these levels. A lot of things have already moved up, right? And I would need them to come down like 30, 40, 50, 60%, or earnings or revenue to grow much faster in order for them to be justified buying opportunities today. And since there are none, I'm not going to be making those videos, because I feel like there is going to be that lack of risk reward here. There's going to be that lack of potential upside, given how much they've already moved up, right? So price is what dictates your future returns. Always remember that. And since prices have already moved up, there's not, in my opinion, a lot of upside right now. So talking about the NASDAQ, and again, 4,800 is the next level to watch on the S&P. We're pretty much approaching that all-time high, and I have no doubt in my mind that in the next couple days, that before the year end, it is possible the markets do trade back up to all-time highs, because everybody wants to see that number and the market's getting up to those levels. NASDAQ here up 54 basis points, the next target and resistance at 15,400. So that is going to be that next level to watch with the 73 RSI and MACD also a bit more on the overbought side at the moment for the NASDAQ. Talking about Apple, and Apple here starting to pull back a little bit, down about 28 basis points. So 193 is where we're at. Resistance at close to 198, and 189, close to 190 is going to be that support for Apple. Still within the context of an uptrend, so very nice higher highs and higher lows. So this right here is going to be that higher low, and of course close to $190 for Apple at the moment. But of course, a very nice uptrend and overall higher highs and higher lows. Talking about Amazon, and Amazon here also just moving sideways, so very, very flat, so didn't really do anything. So one more thing I want to mention before we move forward is definitely do check out the courses. There is a 70% discount. The coupon code is going to be Santa Rally, and that is available until the next few days. So December 28th is when this Christmas sale does expire. You get access to all the courses, individual courses, bundles, 50 to 60%, as much as 70% off. Again, the coupon code is going to be Santa Rally that you can apply until December 28th. Definitely do check that out. So Amazon, very much consolidation. Support level is going to stay put at 148 with the next resistance and targets up to 161 for Amazon. Tesla had a very nice, decent day, up a little bit over 1.6%. So 256 is where we're at. Next resistance and target's going to be 269, close to $270, with the support level sitting put at close to 240. And of course, a very nice uptrend of higher highs and higher lows for Tesla at the moment. So overall trend is somewhat reasonably good, uptrend. Next resistance target at close to 270, support at $240 per share. Talking about NVIDIA here, and NVIDIA on the day also slightly up over 92 basis points. So lots of consolidation. 492 is where we are, trading within that range. Resistance close to 500, support at close to 400 for NVIDIA. Lots of consolidation here in that range for the company. And of course, it's just been trading sideways. Very nice 2023. It's done incredibly well. Fundamentally, though, I do believe it's a little bit more on the expensive side when it comes to valuations. Technically, very nice resistance coming up. And of course, best swing trading opportunity for NVIDIA is closer to $400. So again, they'll find out if it breaks out of 500, trades that back up to 510, 520, makes a new all-time high, or if it starts to pull back. But I do believe that starting January of 2024, there will be some level of profit taking, considering this has been such an incredible year, and a lot of people want to push past those tax liabilities for the following year. So if you sell, let's say in 2024, of course, you're not going to have to pay until April 15th, 2025. That's tax day every year in the United States. So starting January, it is possible that there may be some selling pressure considering that the tax year will be over. Talking about Advanced Micro Devices and AMD here, also consolidating sideways. In fact, it was, but pushing up over 2.7% on the day. So very, very nice move to the upside of $143. Next resistance and target is going to be close to 156 for AMD, and support level is going to stay put at 130, 131 for the company. Very nice move. I'm already up close to 35-40% on this stock again. I wish I would have bought more, but that's the market. You could have, should have, would have almost every time in hindsight. But that being said, resistance at 156, support at 130. Super excited to be part of this journey again. I think AI is going to once again catapult AMD to new all-time highs and push it past certain levels that we never thought were possible. And this is one of the stocks that I believe in the semiconductor space is only getting started with this AI momentum. NVIDIA had a great run. So Supermicro had a great run. A lot of companies in the semiconductor sector had a fantastic run. AMD is just getting started, in my opinion. Talking about PayPal, and PayPal here, you'll notice was up a little bit over 1%, so a very nice move to $62. Next resistance is going to be $65 per share for PayPal, and support level is going to stay put at $56, $57. Very nice consistent uptrend of higher highs and higher lows. So that is going to be that next target and resistance to watch with the support at $56 per share. Talking about Visa, and Visa here on the day also pushing up over 28 basis points. Support level is going to stay put roughly around $245 and $250 per share. For Visa, a very nice uptrend of higher highs and higher lows, so pushing higher very, very nicely. consistent uptrend and trading at an all-time high. I did a video on Visa recently. Definitely do check that out. Complete fundamental analysis on this company, but support level, very strong support. It's sitting $245 and $250 for Visa. Talking about Meta platforms, and Meta here also pushing higher, up over 41 basis points. So very nice uptrend within the context of this uptrend. It's been trading higher highs and higher lows. Support level is going to stay put at $315 to $330. So that is going to be that level to watch. And previous resistance, validated support. And this right here is going to be also another support for Meta, with a resistance staying put at $352, $354 per share. A very nice uptrend overall for this company. Talking about Netflix, and Netflix here also moving up over 91 basis points. So, support level is going to stay put at 485, something that we have discussed already in our previous videos. Next resistance and targets at 572. So that is going to be that level, and a very nice uptrend overall. It's recovered almost entirely from the sell-off. Of course, the all-time high sits well over $600 or $700, close to 675. So 675. That's still a long way to go, but of course, within the context of this uptrend, next target at 571, 572. Support level is going to stay put at 491 to 450 for Netflix. Talking about Google, and Google here is about as flat as it can be. Still within the context of this resistance at 144. So trading inside this red rectangle right now. So that is going to be that resistance, with the support level at close to 126 for Google. And of course, if you do start to see a bit of a pullback, which would not be surprising considering the momentum we've seen, considering the overbought RSIs, MACDs for the entire market, 126 is going to be that support that it could possibly come down to if you do see a pretty sizable decline, a reasonable pullback for the entire market. Going over to Microsoft, and Microsoft here on the day also flat, so not really going anywhere. Higher low and support level at 366 with a resistance at 384 for Microsoft. So 384 is going to be that resistance, and 366 is going to be that support with that higher low as well. And $340 is going to be that another support level to watch and keep in mind for Microsoft. And finally, we got Enphase and Costco, so ENPH over here. So you'll notice a 2.5% move to the upside. In the green, very nice rally to the upside, coming up to 137. So breaking out above those certain resistance levels, and next target is going to be 151. And huge congratulations to anyone who was able to pick up shares in the 80s, 90s, 100s. It's done incredibly well, up over 80 to 90% from its lows. And 151, like I said, is going to be that next target and that next resistance to watch for Enphase. And finally, we got Costco. Costco with another day of greenery, pushing up to over 674, up about 0.5%. And of course, it has been a little bit more on the overbought side with the RSI and the MACD. Support level is going to stay put at $603 per share. It's only a question of when. It's not a question of if. It is eventually going to pull back. We're just going to have to wait and see when that happens. So support level is going to stay put at $603, all the way down to as low as 572. Overbought RSI and MACD at the moment as well. So hope you all enjoyed this video and a complete update on the markets. Don't forget our courses, lifetime access to all the courses. There's 50 to 60 to 70% off, coupon code Santa Rally. That does expire very soon. And definitely do check out our Discord and join our community, join our Patreon. I will be doing a private live stream for all the members on the first week of January, going over 2024 opportunities. So all of that is going to be covered in that video, in that live stream. As always, if you enjoyed it, found it helpful, make sure that you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.